beautiful souls, and welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. It's the Empress here with another pick a card reading, and today we are going to be looking at messages from your higher self. Now I am incorporating a little bit more into this reading, so it is going to be a little bit different. We are going to start each one of these readings with some channeled messages from your higher self with the crystal ball here, so I'll kind of tune into the energy of this crystal ball and bring forth any messages for you through my intuition and through my guides, your guides, and any kind of deities or anything that want to come through at this time. So I do want to say that I am going to, if there's any symbols or anything that feels very significant in your reading on the screen of this video, I will add like some correspondences or any other kind of messages that came through for me with these signs, symbols, synchronicities, or anything like that that may come through in your reading, just because I'm feeling very called to do so, and I feel like there may be some things that come through as very strong kind of synchronicities for some people here. So let's go ahead and get right into this. I do have some black sage burning and some frankincense resins burning for protection and to protect this space. Please allow yourself to be in a safe space while you watch this reading. So let's go ahead and get started. Out in front of you, here we have 3 different cards or 3 different piles to choose from. And I'm going to ask you guys to really take a couple of deep breaths, really ground yourself, clear your mind, clear your energy, and connect to your intuition and your guides, and ask which one of these 3 piles is holding the messages that you need to hear from your higher self. And once you have done that, I will have the timestamps to the beginning of each reading in the description box below, along with the links to the cards that I'm using and the sage and frankincense for anybody who may be interested in the vibes of this reading. So with all of that being said, you guys, go ahead and pause the video if you still need a moment to choose, and I'm going to go ahead and move on to group number 1. Hello, my beautiful group number 1, and welcome to your reading. Again, we're going to start off with the crystal ball, so I'm going to take a second to just kind of tune into this and to connect to the energies that are coming through. And so if at any point I have like any long pauses when I'm really kind of trying to tune in deeper or anything like that, I may edit those kind of silent sections out just so that you're aware ahead of time. But let's go ahead here, you guys. This is my crystal ball. This is selenite for anybody who is curious about that. But let's go ahead here, and starting off, let's take a moment to set intentions to bring forth messages from your higher self. Guide us and protect us on our journey. So I'm seeing group number 1, images of clouds and almost like children sitting on like the hood of a car trying to pick out different images within the clouds. So it's almost like shape-shifting energy coming through here, group number 1. And group number 1, a lot of you guys may be very drawn to weather magic or weather changes or drastic weather. Big weather may really impact you like energetically, like you may really be very connected to weather, weather cycles, weather patterns, weather energy. Some of you guys were maybe born, well, not so much born, but your bloodline was born in a harsh climate, almost like Viking territory, or somewhere it was very cold. I'm also seeing the letter D for group number 1. That could be a passed on loved one for some of you coming through here, wanting to acknowledge their presence. As well as the crown chakra feeling quite significant for group number 1 as well. So some of my group number 1, maybe you've been very much so in your head, or you've been having a hard time with maybe like mental health or keeping your mind in a good place. And if that's the case for you, group number 1, your higher self is coming through here saying to work with your crown chakra, because the more you focus on how things are going to turn out, the more you focus on the way that things happened in the past, the more you replay certain events, situations, experiences over and over in your mind, the more blocked your crown chakra is becoming. I do feel like for group number 1 that your higher self is wanting you to know that you are in a period of change, or that something needs to change for you at this time. Kind of like the weather is changing. Some of my group number 1s too, your higher self is coming through here saying that it's time to assert your boundaries. And I'm seeing this group number 1 as kind of like, almost like an earthquake would happen, where there's like a significant line drawn that cannot be crossed physically, mentally, emotionally. Kind of like the Grand Canyon coming through here. Interesting. So there's definitely some people here connected to Mother Earth, connected to nature, connected to the cycles of the seasons, because a lot of the things that I'm seeing for this group are coming through in that way. I also am seeing it could be like a goose or a duck, like some sort of bird like that. I'm just kind of seeing the silhouette of it. Swan? Maybe it's a swan, actually. As well as like a sea turtle specifically, not like a regular turtle, but specifically a sea turtle. Your higher self is also coming through here saying that there is tension that is building in your body, that is kind of a reflection or an energy trying to show you that there is tension or a blockage within your life. That is coming through here quite strongly as well for group number 1. So some sort of blockage. And we spoke about like the blocked crown chakra as well earlier. So that may be kind of a cycle that group number 1 is currently going through, is learning how to break through certain blockages or to jump over certain barriers. Okay, group number 1, I'm going to go ahead and leave that here for you and get into your cards, okay? Okay, beautiful group number 1. Let's go ahead and get into your cards and see what other messages we have coming forth from your higher self for you today. So starting off, we're going to look here at the card that you guys chose for the overall energy of this message. And then we'll shuffle the rest out as we go. So group number 1, we have here the Temple. Okay. And I love how we have like these vines, these leaves coming in here, because I almost really feel like group number 1, you guys really have a very strong connection to Mother Earth, Pachamama, Gaia, however she comes through for you, but that energy is very strong here. As well as there's a big message here to nurture yourself, to move through any blockages you may be experiencing, and to really assert your boundaries. Again, really not allowing anybody to take from you what you can't or shouldn't be giving energetically. Making yourself sacred. There's definitely something here about needing to make more time for prayer, for meditation, for gratitude. So group number 1, maybe some of you guys are really shifting into a very like more spiritual based reality, as well as there is a message here saying you need to create a sacred space, create an altar, give yourself a space within your home, within your room, or even like a traveling altar for some of you that you can put away and take out when you need it. There's something here about creating something special for you to use while you're connecting to Spirit, Universe, God, however it is that you connect, group number 1. So again, that crown chakra coming through very strongly. Our next card here, we have Divine Masculine with the Sun, and this is number 11, which may be significant to some of you guys here. So with the Divine Masculine, this is your higher self saying it's time to take action. Like, I feel like group number 1, you guys know, you know what I'm talking about. You know, you've been feeling that you need to make more time for yourself. You've been feeling that you need to take more action. You've been feeling that you need to be more assertive in your boundaries and in these types of areas in your life, but you haven't been able to take action, and that may be where this blockage is at for you guys. Really allowing yourself to take action on how you truly feel and what you truly think and what you truly want. And that is kind of a way of making yourself sacred, right? By putting yourself as one of your own priorities instead of always making yourself last on your list. That's a big message coming through here. We also have initiation, sacred site. Yeah, there's definitely a sense of awakening here. Being initiated into a new state of being, a new way of life, a new lifestyle for some of you, a more heavily spiritual based lifestyle for some of you. And like I said, there's like something here with the weather coming through again with this initiation, like your life is changing as the seasons are. So depending on where you're at in the world, whether you're entering into fall or spring, your life is changing with that shift in seasons. So there is almost like this energy here. I'm seeing it as like a almost like breathing, where there's like this energy that's like expanding and then contracting, expanding and then contracting for group number 1. So that may be something that you've been experiencing, and maybe you're wondering why you can't like get any further past that expansion that happens. It's like things start looking up, things start looking really bright, and then all of a sudden you drop back down, kind of like this roller coaster type energy. And your higher self is coming through here saying that in order to obtain this expansion and like hold this expansion, in order to then grow beyond that, you have to focus on yourself in some way, shape, or form. And that's going to be different for everybody here, I do feel. But for some of you, this is like focusing on your spirituality and your spiritual practices and really getting in touch with that part of yourself. I feel like that part could be for all of you here, but for some of you here, there's definitely a message about boundaries, you know, making sure that you're being assertive and taking actions to set your boundaries and to hold your boundaries, as well as self-love, like taking action towards yourself, allowing yourself to make time for you is very important for group number 1. Even if that means like you know, maybe you have a to-do list, or maybe you should start making a to-do list every day, like the major things that you want to get done, the things that you feel like are stressing you out or that are pressing or that are time restricted, however that comes through for you, and put yourself on that list. Put your, you know, put your shower, your hygiene, your care, getting yourself together, whatever it takes for you to get yourself into a state of being where you feel good about yourself. Put that on your list of things to do every day. Let's pull another card here. Group number 1. We have I Ching. Yeah, so there's definitely, again, this essence of like change coming in here. Initiation, a change in seasons. Some of you may be going through like a shift in like your beliefs or your belief patterns even. Interesting. So this is about allowing flow instead of trying to resist change, instead of trying to hold on to things that you are outgrowing. Group number 1, you guys are outgrowing something, a lifestyle, a person, a job, a habit, an addiction, whatever it is for you. There is this essence of like outgrowing, but not allowing yourself to release or shed this. And there's a need to surrender to this change. Really take action, lean into this change, group number 1. So let's pull some tarot and go a little deeper into this message from your higher self, group number 1. We have the Two of Swords. So there is something here. I feel like it's either I feel like group number 1, there's something here where it's like you have to either listen to what you want or you have to listen to what somebody else wants. And a lot of you guys, again, always put other people or other responsibilities, other situations before yourself. There's something here, group number 1, where it feels like you don't feel like you can have both. You don't feel like you can go after your goals, your dreams, the things that you desire, or live the way that you want, and live up to the expectations or the responsibilities that are imposed on you through your environment or your external world. And if that's the case for you, group number 1, your higher self is saying you have to put you first. We then have the Four of Wands. So a lot of you guys, this may definitely play out in romantic relationships. You may lose yourself in relationships very easily. As well as I do feel with this coming out under the Divine Masculine, for group number 1, a lot of you guys are aligning to a Divine Masculine. With the Four of Wands here, this indicates soulmate or twin flame energy for me in my readings. And this could even be a marriage or like a partnership, a business partnership. It is going to be different for everybody, but there is like this essence of a Divine Masculine trying to come into your life that your higher self wants you to know. You're being initiated into a healing process in order to raise your vibration, in order to heal, in order to come into union with whatever this is for you. Some of you guys may be going through a cycle within the relationship that you're currently in, where you are needing to kind of step back from this relationship and find yourself again and heal yourself and focus on yourself. Maybe you've begun to lose yourself, or there may be like some sort of resentments or things like this arising in your relationship, trust issues even arising in your relationship, and your higher self is saying like it's time to take a step back. It doesn't mean you have to separate or you have to leave, but there are changes that need to be made in a certain dynamic within your life. And then we have the Nine of Cups coming out here. So I feel like group number 1, a lot of you have been asking like how to be happy. You've been asking what it's going to take for you to be able to achieve happiness, or if that's something that's even possible for you potentially. And your higher self is saying like you are being initiated into your happiness, but it may not look like that right now because you're being asked to change from the way of life that you thought was going to make you happy at one point. And it's that release process, group number one. Your higher self is saying like there are things you're going to have to let go of in order to be initiated into this happiness that you're truly seeking. But there's this blockage. There's something that you don't want to let go of, or something that you don't want to allow change to occur in out of fear or out of like a mentality of lack or victimhood. However that comes through for you, group number one, your higher self is saying like your happiness is on its way, but you have to allow the changes to happen. And then we have the Eight of Wands. Yeah, see, as soon as you surrender here, group number one, things are going to happen very rapidly. And again, we have this bird coming in here, which is bringing me back to the kind of the bird that I saw in the crystal ball message. So that seems very significant for somebody here. There may be some sort of bird, a swan, an owl, a hawk, a raven, a crow, anything like that coming through as a symbol, synchronicity for you. Very significant synchronicity for group number one. As well as I'm seeing this Eight of Wands as kind of the energy of the crown chakra, like allowing your crown chakra to open is going to allow you to receive a lot more information, a lot more knowledge, a lot more perspective in order to grow that kind of expansion energy again and allow yourself to see things in a different light. Again, there's this energy of repeating certain situations, certain experiences, or certain ideas within your mind and convincing yourself that you already know how it's going to happen, or convincing yourself that there is no other ways, there are no other possibilities, that there is no other potential for a certain situation, relationship, however that comes through for you, group number one. And your higher self is saying if you can allow yourself to tune in to your spiritual practices and allow yourself to really open and expand that crown chakra, you will see that there is so much more potential, that there is so many different ways that this could go, that it's not set in stone. Wow. So let's pull one more tarot here. Group number one. Six of Wands, victory. Yes, you guys are well on your way to a victory here, to overcoming this battle that you've been fighting, I feel, with yourself. I feel like fighting against yourself in order to fight for the external world, or I feel like you guys have been stuck in this cycle of fighting against yourself in order to fight for something or someone in the external world, or fighting for yourself, which meant you were fighting against your external world. There has been no happy balance in that, and I feel like that's truly what's trying to come in for you. And your higher self is saying there is victory here. You are coming into a new state of being, a new lifestyle, a new sense of love, a new sense of stability, and a new sense of happiness for group number one. But it's all going to start with you making your spiritual practices, your self-care, your self-love a priority, and putting those things on your to-do list, group number one. But this is what I'm seeing for you. If you enjoyed this reading, if it resonated with you, if it brought you value, please hit that like button. Comment down below. Let me know what you thought of this. Let me know what other kinds of readings or divinations you guys would like to see. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And I thank you guys so very much for joining me here. And I will see you guys next time. Bye. Hello, my beautiful group number two. Those of you that chose pile number two, group number two, this reading is for you. And we are going to start off here with messages from your higher self through the crystal ball. So I do want to just say that if at any time I come to a point where, you know, it takes me a while to tune into the energies, or there's a long pause, I may edit that out of the video, and I just want to make you guys aware of that before we move into this, as well as if there are any signs, symbols, or anything like that that come through here, I will do my best to put on the screen any other messages or correspondences that may come through with those images. So definitely make sure that you're like maybe able to watch the screen or come back later and watch the screen in case there are any added messages that I do put up while I'm editing this video. So let's go ahead and get into your reading here. Starting off, I just want to take a moment to set the intention to bring forth messages for Pile 2's, from Pile 2's higher self. Please allow us to tune into our intuition, to our spirit guides, angels, ancestors, guide us and protect us on this journey. Okay, so immediately group number 2, I'm getting this sense of, it's being shown to me as discoloration. So there may be something in your life, group number 2, that just seems out of place right now. That doesn't feel as bright as it used to. I'm also seeing the state of Texas. That state may be significant to somebody here. I feel like group number 2, there's something that you left somewhere. I'm seeing, so group number 2, your guys' messages are coming through more of like a visual kind of storyline, which is interesting. I'm seeing there's something here, group number 2, where maybe there was something that you left behind at some point in time, whether it was a physical object or energy, that your soul and your higher self are really feeling empty because of, and maybe somebody else has this part of you. I'm also hearing for group number 2 that there's something here where there's a need to really acknowledge that your higher self is a part of you and not something outside of you. So a lot of my group number 2s may look at your higher self or your intuition or things like that as something outside of you. Even maybe when you try to connect to them, you may try to connect to them as though they are a deity or God or angels or something like that, and your higher self is wanting me to state that I am you, I am part of you. So there is definitely a sense here where your higher self is, it's almost like your higher self is feeling detached in some way, shape, or form. Group number 2, you may struggle with trust, as well as like I'm seeing like I'm seeing an eye, and I'm seeing like the evil eye, but I'm also seeing the eye of Ra. So those may be two different images for like separate people here, or they both may be significant to you in some way, shape, or form. Some of you may really feel like other people are like out to get you. That your higher self is wanting you to maybe acknowledge, maybe you're living in a state of being where you're constantly waiting for somebody or something to try to take what you have. I'm also seeing a whale for group number 2. That may be coming through as like a spirit animal or an animal guide. And a lotus. So there's an essence of unfoldment here that your higher self is wanting to bring attention to, group number 2. something unfolding, something coming up out of the depths of like the water, something coming out of the darkness, something trying to be seen here for group number 2 that your higher self is quite loud about. And I'm seeing the letter Y. So this could be, some of you guys may be in a state of constantly like asking like, why me? Or why does this happen? Or why is it always like this? As well as like the letter Y may be significant in regards to a name, or anything like that for some of you as well. Some of you guys may be Latin or from a Latin kind of culture or heritage, or maybe very connected to those types of cultures or heritage. And if that's the case for you, your higher self is saying that there's information for you if you allow yourself to dive into those cultures or into that history. So for some of you, it may not be Latin culture, but there's some sort of culture that calls to you. I did see the Eye of Ra, so for some of you, it could be Egyptian culture, or mythology, or however that comes through for you, whatever part of the world that is calling to you, group number 2, there's messages for you there that your higher self is wanting you to connect with. Your higher self feels, I feel like your higher self almost feels very dismissed, group number 2. And I don't feel like that's intentional. I feel like part of it is just that maybe at group number 2 you haven't maybe recognized your higher self for what it actually is. Some of you guys may be twins. Or you may feel like half of you has always been missing. You may have been a twin in a past life, but the energy of twins is coming through here. That could even indicate Gemini energy for some of you. It doesn't have to, but there is like this energy of twins, duplicates, of a reflection. I'm also seeing a dog, like the head of a dog howling. Okay, group number 2. So I'm going to go ahead and leave this part here for you guys, and we're going to go ahead and get into your cards and go a little deeper into what these messages from your higher self are trying to say. Okay, my beautiful group number 2, those of you that chose the second card, this is the Tarot Oracle portion of your reading of the messages from your higher self. So let's go ahead and get into this. We're going to start here with the overall energy of the messages from your higher self, and then we'll shuffle the rest of the cards out as we go. So group number 2, we have here the Comic. So interesting. Group number 2, a lot of you guys, your higher self may come through in your sense of humor. You know how there's like this saying about, you know, even if it's a joke, it's still like a 75% truth. I feel like that's kind of how this is coming through for group number 2. It's like your higher self comes through in your sense of humor, which is actually really cool. I really like that energy. But maybe some of you guys haven't really noticed that. Maybe some of you have been trying to figure out how to connect with your higher self or how to find that energy within you. And I feel like your higher self is saying, like, it's in your sense of humor. Some of you guys may be meant to be, like, comedians. You know, that's not going to be for everybody here, but that's definitely here. Some of you guys may have been, like, the class clown. You may be the person who is very good at making other people laugh, especially in awkward situations. And some of you guys, group number 2, may be the people who laugh at a funeral. I'm just going to put it out there. And I feel like that's because your higher self is like trying to come out, trying to be present, trying to be like whole with your energy. And so like it's almost like when your higher self breaks through, it breaks through in like bursts right now, because it does feel like your higher self is very detached, or like you've detached from your higher self. So some of you guys may have really kind of been living in a very serious energy for a period of time right now as well, and your higher self is really wanting to be embraced. Let's pull some more cards. Group number 2, and see what else we have coming out, what your higher self wants to talk to you about today. We have retreat with green calcite, mountains, and we have I am presence with cosmos. Interesting. So I'm getting this message here that like your higher self really like is acknowledging the struggle that you have, group number 2, with being a part of this 3D reality. A lot of my group number 2s may be the kind of souls who really want to, you know, live off grid, self-sustainability, who have a hard time conforming to social norm or fitting in with a crowd or being a part of a crowd. You may suffer from social anxiety, and really just feel like you don't belong in this world or in this lifetime. And your higher self is saying that your humor, your sense of humor, is what is going to ease that energy. And that it's one thing to connect to your star family, to your soul family, to your guides, to your intuition, but you can't use that as an escape, is what I'm hearing here. Like group number 2, there's something here where your higher self is saying like there is a need for you to kind of surrender to this 3D reality, surrender to the life that you're living, and really make the most of it instead of fighting against it the whole time you're here. I do feel like a lot of my group number 2s may be starseeds, or just feel like your soul didn't come from this place. So there's 2 of these cards that want to come out, so we'll take them both. Our first one is psychometry with sensitivity for sure. And then we also have phrenology with certainty. So again, group number 2, you guys have definitely, I feel, been living in a very like more logical, analytical state of being, more serious state of being, and in the state of being where everything needs to be like very factual and set in stone and very serious. And your higher self is saying like there's really a need, there's a need to find certainty in the unknown, to know that the only constant, the only thing that's certain in this lifetime is that we will eventually get to leave. So why rush it? Group number 2 is what I'm hearing. We also have psychometry here, which is interesting because I felt this energy with the crystal ball. And I feel like a lot of you guys, again, it's like somebody left something somewhere that you are still attached to, or maybe you guys have some sort of item that you're holding on to that is very energetically charged with somebody or something's energy source, and you guys are very sensitive to it. I feel like you guys could really grow and expand in this gift, in this ability, if you applied yourself, if you allowed yourself to, as well as I really feel that you guys are very good at reading a room. You're very good at picking up on other people's energy, which is kind of this comic energy coming through here again. Like you guys are the comedian, you guys are the life of the party, you are the people who can make a group of people laugh, especially when it's like awkwardly silent or uncomfortable. You're that person that can bring laughter to a room. And part of that is because you're very sensitive to the energies around you, and it's like you know when it's okay to insert those jokes or those puns, And your higher self is saying lean into that. That's a part of your purpose, is to bring laughter into this world, and laughter is medicine. But you guys also do definitely have this psychometry talent. You are able to physically touch items and maybe feel their origins, right? Wow, that's pretty cool. So let's get some tarot, group number 2, and go a little deeper into this message and what your higher self wants to say to you at this time for group number 2, please. I am also seeing here that your higher self is saying, like, there is a time and a place when you need to retreat or step back, when you need to recharge, when you need to allow your energy to kind of recalibrate, if you will, because you guys do pick up so much other energies from other people and items around you. But it's like your higher self is saying, like, you can't live in solitude all the time, or in this sense of separation all the time, even if you're not like shutting yourself away in your home 24/7. There's this essence of being very detached, group number 2, that your higher self is really wanting you to work on, like being present and allowing yourself to be a part of this world. We have the Ten of Wands. Again, there's something here with this Ten of Wands with culture or ancestral energy. So that may be very significant to some of you guys. And if there's a certain culture or history or mythology or whatever it is calling to you, definitely allow yourself to dive into that. There's also something here where it's like your higher self is acknowledging that you put a lot of time and effort into, what I'm seeing here, into like a lot of time and effort into holding up like your image, upholding your image, upholding yourself, being like, there's something here that's very significant to group number 2 about your image, about the way people perceive you, about the way that people think about you or talk about you. So group number 2, you guys, I definitely feel like you guys are the ones who like definitely don't post the drama or the gossip on Facebook. You don't allow your private kind of energies to be exposed. There's something here where it's like you guys really like to be seen in a very specific point of view. You don't like people to know your business. You don't like people talking about you. You're very mindful of the way that you present yourself to this world, and your higher self is definitely acknowledging that, and also saying, like, maybe you go a little bit overboard with that, or with that. It's because, see, when we worry so much about the way that other people see us, we begin to change into something else. It's like you've lost a part of yourself trying to uphold this image, group number 2. I don't know how else to say it. Like, that's what I'm hearing, is that you've lost a part of yourself trying to uphold this serious, sophisticated business person persona. And for a lot of you, it's the sense of humor that you've lost. You know, maybe not for everybody here, but we have the Seven of Cups. Yeah, so a lot of my group number 2s maybe don't even know what you want in your life anymore. Or you don't know, like, what goals, what dreams, what ambitions are actually yours versus what are the goals, dreams, and ambitions that would uphold this persona that you've been trying to achieve or uphold. We have the Three of Swords. Interesting. So what I'm seeing here, group number 2, is like your higher self is saying, like, you would be so willing to sacrifice yourself, to hurt yourself, to break your own heart, to uphold this persona, as well as to, you guys may like, maybe even consciously, not all of you, not for all of you is it conscious, but some of you it may even be consciously absorb the energies of other people around you. It's like you take on their heartbreak, you take on their pain, you take on their trauma so that they can not have to deal with that, so that they can feel better. So I do feel like group number 2, a lot of you guys are definitely healers, even if you don't know it. But there is this essence of really causing yourself, like self-sabotage, causing yourself harm, heartbreak, and losing like track of what your true dreams and goals are in order to uphold this. Some of you guys may have even really struggled with like mental health or suicide. You may have been affected by suicide. And we have the Queen of Swords coming out here. Yeah, so group number 2, I'm really seeing here, like, you guys really uphold this image of being very strong, very independent, very free, not needing anybody's help, not needing anybody's opinion, not needing anybody to... I just really see, like, this very almost cold, detached, not allowing yourself to feel for anything or anyone in a way that can cause you like heartbreak or pain. It's not that you don't feel for other people or have like empathy. It's that you don't allow yourself to get emotionally involved in your life. Group number 2, that your higher self is saying like it's time to open your heart space, and it's time to be present in your life. Group number 2. So let's pull one final message here. The outcome that your higher self is seeking for group number 2, please. 10 of Swords. Closure. Closure. Your higher self wants closure. Your higher self wants wholeness as well. Like I said, there's this essence of feeling very detached. We have the 10 of Wands and the 10 of Swords. And your higher self wants closure in this cycle of self-sabotage, in this cycle of always putting yourself in harm's way to uphold some sort of image or to take on somebody else's trauma or pain. Because it's almost like this mentality like, well, I already have this. I'm already fractured. I'm already broken, so it doesn't matter. Like, I can handle it. You shouldn't have to deal with this pain or this hurt or this trauma because you have a whole life to live. But I'm already broken. I already have this pain. I already have this trauma. So I might as well just hold on to yours too so that you don't have to. It's like that kind of mentality coming through here where your higher self is saying it's time to let go of this persona and almost like emotionally integrate yourself into your reality. Group number 2. Interesting. But this is what I'm seeing for you guys. I'm going to go ahead and leave this reading here for you. If you enjoyed this reading, if it resonated with you, if it brought you value, please hit that like button. Comment down below. Let me know what you thought of this. Let me know what other readings or divinations you guys would like to see. Consider subscribing if you feel called to do so. I thank you guys so very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye! Hello, my beautiful group number 3. Those of you that chose group number 3, pile number 3, this reading is for you, and we are going to start off here with the crystal ball messages from your higher self. So I do want to first of all say that if at any time I pick up on any signs, symbols, or anything that I may feel is significant, that may need like some more clarification or anything like that, I may put on the screen like correspondences to certain items or animals or anything like that that may come through for anybody who's curious about that. As well as if there are any like significant pauses or anything like that while I'm tuning into this energy, I may edit some of that out just so that you are aware coming into this reading. So let's go ahead and get into your reading here, group number 3. I do want to start off by setting intentions to bring forth messages from your higher self, connecting to our guides, our intuition, ancestors to guide us and protect us on this journey. Group number 3. So there is something here like that I'm picking up on immediately about like scratching the surface, or like your higher self wanting you to maybe dig a little deeper into something that you've been scratching the surface on, as well as like maybe for some of you there's some sort of like itch, like you've been itching to do something, to experience something, to learn something that your higher self is saying that is definitely something that you should explore. I'm also seeing like an anatomical heart here for group number 3, like the physical anatomy of a heart. So some of you guys, your higher self may be wanting to acknowledge a relationship or an emotional state. For some of you guys, there may be something like with the physical heart as well that's coming through here from your higher self, as well as a potion. Interesting. Some of my group number 3s may be like my witches, spellcrafters, practitioners, and like jar spells or potions may be something that you're very, very talented at. I'm hearing love spells in particular, so again I'm being brought back to kind of that heart energy again. So some of you guys may be trying to maybe cast love spells. If that's the case, I am hearing a message here to make sure that you're not interfering with anybody's free will. As well as I just really feel for group number 3 that you guys are very gifted in casting like successful spells and energy, like energy work and things like that. Very, very gifted in those areas. I'm seeing the letter M, which may be significant to some of you guys. For some of you guys, I'm seeing the whole word mom. For the rest of you, it's the letter M may be significant in regards to a name or a place. As well as a cow, like coming through here. Maybe as a guide, a spirit animal or a guide, or even an animal totem. Some of you guys, M&Ms may be like a candy that has some sort of significant story or something behind it, or maybe like a favorite of yours. I don't know why I'm still being drawn to the letter M quite strongly for group number 3. Monday may have a significance. Or the moon. Lunar energy, lunar cycles for group number 3. Your higher self is saying connecting to the moon is something that's going to be super productive and beneficial for you. Learning about the moon cycles, learning about the moon phases, and paying attention to the signs that the moon is moving through on a day-to-day basis. And I'm also seeing a teardrop or a raindrop, one or the other. Or maybe it's both, depending on your situation. Some of you guys may have lost a loved one, either to like a physical heart issue or a sudden kind of unexpected death. If that's the case for you, they are watching over you. And for some of you guys, the rain is super significant. That could be a message from your loved ones or from your guides, as well as like I'm hearing your higher self say cleansing, 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 cleansing. So that's something that I feel like group number 3 really needs to do. Cleansing your energy, connecting maybe with water energy, especially since we have the energy of the moon coming through here, and the moon controls the tide and is very connected to the water element. I'm hearing for group number 3 that water is kind of like a portal for you. So any big bodies of water, or even like baths, like spiritual baths, or spiritual cleansing baths, or showers, can make a significant difference for you right now. There's also an essence of like scattered energy here, or fractured energy. Some of you guys may be really dealing with like heartbreak in some way, shape, or form. That's going to be different for everybody, but some of you guys may definitely be grieving, or even in a state of depression or emotional kind of disturbances coming through here for group number 3. I'm also seeing a rose. So some of you guys, this could again signify love. That is an energy coming through here so strongly, regardless of whether it's romantic or not, as well as maybe working with roses may be very beneficial for you, either through like teas, since that incorporates the water as well, or the bath, or using it in your spell work, or maybe even just having roses, like fresh cut roses in your home, in order to bring that energy into your life. And I'm also seeing like a triangle. Some of you guys, and I don't even have this oracle deck, so that's interesting. I really have no experience to speak on it, but I have seen it. I saw it when it was released. There is a rose oracle, or Oracle of the Roses, by the same creator that did the Starseed Oracle, and I'll put the name on the screen here. And for some reason, group number 3, that oracle deck may be very significant to you. I am seeing that specific oracle deck come through here that your higher self is directing you towards. Some of you guys may be just starting in a divination journey, or in maybe cards, and your higher self is wanting you to maybe dive a little deeper into that. As well as like crystal energies. I do feel group number 3 that you guys are like my witches, my practitioners. Amethyst may be a very significant stone for you, especially if you are grieving, group number 3, because amethyst is very powerful in regards to emotional balance and healing. Interesting. So I am going to go ahead and leave this part of this reading here for you guys. And we're going to go ahead and move on to your cards. Okay, group number 3. Hello, my beautiful group number 3. Let's go ahead and get into your cards portion of your reading, of the messages from your higher self, and go a little deeper into this. So we're going to start here with these cards, and then we'll shuffle the rest of the cards out. So you guys did get 2 cards here, so either there are 2 kind of separated groups coming into this reading, or just a lot of energy that your higher self wants to acknowledge. But let's go ahead and get started here. We have the prayer. Again, there is a message here, group number 3, about you guys being very like spiritually connected, as well as maybe some of you guys have lost somebody, and this may be where the grief is coming in, or it just may be something that you've done for a period of time. It's like there's something here where you're speaking to somebody or something, and your higher self is wanting you to know that those messages are being received. Interesting. And we have the shapeshifter coming out here. So you guys may have been drawn to another pile as well. If that's the case, allow yourself to receive the messages that you were meant to receive. Don't restrict yourself. If not, that's totally okay. But with this here, I feel like group number 3, there is a strong sense of mediumship. There is a strong sense of mediumship. Like I said, some of you guys may have just started in your divination journey, or in tarot or oracle cards, or in a very specific kind of avenue of your spiritual practices. And your higher self is coming through here saying that wherever it is that you've been called to explore within your spiritual practices, or your spell practices, or your witchcraft, or anything like that, whatever it is for you, meditation, prayer, yoga, that avenue is meant to lead you to a brand new life. As well as I feel like group number 3, you guys are very gifted at blending in. Like some of you may be very good at like cloak magic, or you know, even like protecting yourself in a way where it's almost like people don't notice you. Some of you guys may struggle with being out in crowds, or being out like in town for an entire day, or around, you may really struggle. It's mainly what I'm feeling here is like you may really struggle around people that you aren't familiar with. And group number 3, what I'm seeing here is that you guys are super gifted at like blending in this way where people don't, like, they look right past you, they look right through you. If that's the energy that you're in that day, if you're not wanting to interact, if you're not wanting to be social, if you're trying to go to a grocery store and get your stuff and get out, there's just this ability that you guys have to like blend in so that nobody tries to talk to you, so that you aren't acknowledged, so that nothing happens to where there's attention brought to you in any way, shape, or form. Interesting. As well as group number 3, I am seeing here that your higher self wants to acknowledge that it is a part of you. Some of you guys may try to like pray to your higher self, kind of like you would to God, or to your angels, or to your guides, or to the universe, or whatever it is that you connect with. And your higher self is saying like, I am a part of you. I'm here whenever you're ready. Interesting. We then have ancestor healing with Amber coming out here. Wow. So group number 3, you guys are my group that are meant to break some ancestral cycles. You're meant to gain freedom. Some of you guys, an ego may be a significant sign or symbol. You guys are definitely very connected to the angelic realm. That may be kind of where your soul incarnated from. You guys may see even like feathers, which could definitely indicate cleansing, and that may be kind of this ego energy that's coming through here as well. But you guys are meant to break ancestral karmic energies to balance like ancestral karma. As well as I feel like group number 3, you guys are balancing a lot of karmic energies from past lives here in this lifetime. Shamanic energies may be something that's very significant to you. Some of you guys may really connect with ancestors. Amber may be a stone that's very significant in your healing, or in, like I said earlier, like crystals may be a very strong, like powerful energy for you to work with, group number 3, and Amber is definitely one that's coming out here that would be very helpful, I feel, for you, especially in regards to healing and almost like preservation. Your ancestors are with you very strongly, group number 3, very, very strongly. Some of you guys may even feel like your ancestors work through you, or like your guides or your angels or certain deities even work through you. Some of you may be feeling very called to shamanism. We have the Wheel of Fortune coming out with fate for group number 3. Yeah, this is something that you were already destined to do. I feel like group number 3, you guys are moving towards like your north node. There's something here where it's like you guys, there's a purpose that is being really heavily activated here that your higher self is really wanting to acknowledge. Some of you guys have maybe been asking what direction to go or what your purpose is. And again, if there's like been a specific like avenue within your practices or a specific energy that you've been very drawn to, follow those, because they are leading you to your purpose, to your destiny here, group number 3. In the bottom of the deck we have the crystal ball with clarity, which is interesting. As well as like that, I just realized as I was setting this down, when I was talking to you guys with the crystal ball messages, there was this energy of almost like fragmented power. And when I saw that, it was like lightning, well, and we brought up the rain, so like thunderstorms may be very, very significant to you, group number 3, especially in regards to like your energy, your power. You guys may be very good at like harnessing the energy of lightning or of thunderstorms, or like making like lightning water. And collecting rainwater may be very, very helpful for you in your practices. Interesting. So let's go ahead and get some tarot, group number 3, and go a little deeper into this message that your higher self is wanting to bring forth. So it's very clear here that your higher self is wanting you to connect to your ancestors, maybe even like your own culture or your own kind of like bloodline, like where your bloodline came from. Some of you guys, there's something here about like the DNA tests that tell you like all of the different like origins of your bloodline. That may be something that you're feeling called to do, like the family tree type situation. Interesting. So we have here the Empress. Group number 3, you guys are meant to reap the rewards of all of your past ancestors, like all of the work that your ancestors did, all of the things that have led up to you being born and living the life that you're living. Like you guys are meant to live a very abundant life, and you're meant to harvest all of the blessings and abundance that was maybe blocked from your bloodline due to karma that had to be balanced. And you guys are that person that's meant to like break ancestral cycles. And as you start breaking these cycles and turning this Wheel of Fortune here, you are going to reap the rewards of your ancestors. Wow. As well as I did hear for some of you that maybe you're meant to carry on a specific bloodline or not to carry on a specific bloodline. Energy is fluid, so apply that how it resonates for you in your life if it does. But there is definitely something here, group number 3, about either stopping a bloodline or starting one. Interesting. But everybody here, I feel the collective of group number 3 is meant to reap the rewards of your ancestors, of your bloodline that have been blocked for generations. We have the Knight of Swords. You guys, there's a lot of, I feel like you guys could channel a lot of information, a lot of wisdom, a lot of knowledge if you allow yourself to tune into that energy like daily, or even here with the Empress, like she's praying. I feel like you guys are very good channelers, or like you receive a lot of downloads that your higher self is wanting you to acknowledge, wanting you to tune into more, to pay attention to more, because it may be something for group number 3 where it happens so much and so often, and it's happened for like the entirety of your life that you don't even notice it anymore, and your higher self is wanting you to become more consciously aware of the messages that you're receiving, of the downloads that you're receiving here. We have the 5 of Wands coming out. So your higher self is also wanting to acknowledge that you may be kind of in the habit of feeling like you have to change who you are to compete for recognition, or to compete for victory in some way, shape, or form, or that you have to prove yourself. That may be an energy that group number 3 has carried with you through your life. You may constantly feel like you have to prove yourself, or there's something that you have to prove, and your higher self is really wanting you to kind of release this energy. We also have here the Queen of Coins. Yeah, you guys are definitely meant to be very abundant in this lifetime. You're meant to be a provider in some way, shape, or form. Some of you guys, your own business where you kind of provide a living to all of your employees. That feels quite significant for somebody here anyway. But there is just this sense of being very strong and very abundant and very giving, and like living this life of luxury. I feel like your higher self is wanting you to know that you are going to live in some sort of luxury within your lifetime. Wow. There's also a message here to like stop fighting, stop chasing, stop fighting, and allow your abundance and things to be drawn into you. That may be something that group number 3 really struggles with, and your higher self is saying stop fighting against the energy, stop fighting to try to prove yourself, or to try to be in a certain place at a certain time, or to try to constantly work more and work more and work more, trying to like chase down this abundance. You know, put your work out there, or your words out there, or whatever it is, your energy out there, and then allow yourself to be open to receive the rewards and the abundance that is going to reap, group number 3, instead of putting your energy out there or your work out there and then constantly, I'm seeing this as being shown to me as like kind of like a post on Instagram or Facebook, or however it comes through for you, YouTube. Some of you guys may be feeling called to be an influencer in some way, shape, or form, but I'm seeing this as like posting a picture and then checking it every 5 minutes to see how many likes it has. I'm constantly like chasing that and like feeling like you have something to prove, or feeling like you're competing with everybody else on the internet. No, let that go, group number 3. Let that go. Stop comparing yourself to other people. Stop feeling like you're in competition with other people. If you're a social media influencer, you are not in competition with anyone. And just because somebody else's growth is different than yours doesn't make you any less valid, group number 3. With this ancestor healing, with this amber energy here and this tree energy, like trees take a long time to grow. Amber takes a long time to form. You know, generations take a long time. So there's something here, group number 3, where maybe your success is slow moving. With the Queen of Coins here, maybe your success is slow growing, at least at this point in time in your life. And there's a need for you to kind of relax into that instead of feeling like you have to prove yourself by doing more. So let's pull one final message, group number 3, from your higher self. We have the 10 of Cups. Wow. So we have like the sense of ultimate happiness, ultimate joy, ultimate success, fulfillment coming in here. That is a big message coming in here for group number 3, that there's like ultimate success and joy and luxury and comfort and abundance that you are meant to live in this lifetime. There's just a need to stop competing. And we also have the Tower on the bottom of the deck, which I feel like group number 3, what I'm seeing here, and again we have this lightning. What I'm seeing here is, for one, your abundance or your success or your victory is going to come when you least expect it. Like when you're finally able to let go of competing and chasing and trying to force. It's going to come in very unexpectedly and potentially very rapidly with like this lightning energy here. But it may take you a little while to get to this point where you can let go. But this is what I'm seeing for my beautiful group number 3. I'm going to go ahead and leave this reading here for you. If you enjoyed this, if it resonated with you, if it brought you value, please hit that like button. Comment down below. Let me know if you chose this pile. Let me know what other readings or divinations you guys would like to see. Consider subscribing if you feel called to do so. I thank you guys so very much for joining me here today, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.